Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 23rd day of May, 2025. It is Friday of the 5th week of Easter. It is the 34th day of the Easter season. And I am at I'm at Fiumicino Airport. I have just landed for my, again, Roman and Assisi sojourn. I went and got my cappuccino and a grappa, which again usually only tourists eat. So I've already identified myself. Actually, the way they're dressed has already identified myself as a tourist. So nothing against my Italians. So always remember that. It is sunny. It's hot here. So I think it wasn't so hot in Raleigh when I left yesterday, but it is going to be warm. But it'll be cooler, I think, in Assisi, hopefully. But again, air conditioning is not something that Italians take much delight in. So one has to learn to adapt when one comes to Italy. Anyway, so our readings for today, the Council of Jerusalem in its decision to not allow the Gentiles to have to be circumcised or other kinds of things like that is now proclaimed to all of the Gentile communities. And two of the members of the community of Jerusalem, Silas and somebody else, I forget what his name is, they go off to tell the Gentiles that they do not have to abide by all the things that the Jews had traditionally abided by, and the only thing they asked them to was not to eat meat that is offered to idols. So a pretty simple task for them to do without having to adapt everything that was part of the understanding the identity of Judaism. So again, it's an interesting kind of separation that is happening, and again, for good, for ill, it becomes again the way in which more and more people are added to the community of Christian believers, and so the people receive this news with great joy, and again, and life goes on. So again, that first discussion, as to how do we bring more than just Judaism into this Christian movement, is something that really needed to be thought about, because it was beginning to realize with Paul's command, or with the command given to Paul by Christ to go and to proclaim to all people, and not just Israel, about the wonderful things that God has done in Jesus of Nazareth, and the new relationship and the new identity of what it means to be a part of the life of God, is something that has to be taken seriously. And so again, this Council of Jerusalem needs to be able to deliberate that, and in many ways, thankfully they did, to be able to allow the faith to spread to all the corners of the world. In John's Gospel, again, we have this wonderful, again, this is John chapter 13, these Last Supper speeches of Jesus, one of the most wonderful passages about love. Love one another, and no one has greater love than to lay down one's life for his friends, and that Jesus basically speaks of the apostles as friends, not servants, not slaves, not subordinates, nothing like that. It's the sense of friendship, of bonding, of relationship, and the relationship is bonded and grounded in love. Nothing more, nothing less. Again, the fact that love becomes again and again echoed throughout the entire Easter season perhaps is something for us to listen to, because generally we don't. Generally we basically say, it's all about penance, and it's all about making sure we don't get God angry, or it's all about how we never measure up, or it's all about how God wants us to do these onerous tasks and things like that. And it's not. It never was. And so we find ourselves at this interesting crossroad when it comes to Easter, in which a different message is given to us. And now in this 5th week of Easter, the question has to be raised to us again. Do we believe this or not? Is this going to be the source of what our faith is based upon? Love and nothing but love. Not about rules and regulations, not about control and order, not about authority, but love. Because that is, again, what Jesus ends his life saying. Remember to love, remember to love, remember to love. We need to take that seriously. Blessed, and so here I go on my Roman adventure. So a blessed Easter season, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord continue to give you his peace.